In Volume 1, we'll spend a day trackside at New Sharon with the New Sharon Switcher. Powered by one of the railroad's original GP9s, the New Sharon Switcher spends most of its day working the New Sharon yard and switching local customers, like Franklin County Feeds. We'll also witness the daily road trains on the AGR's Kennebec subdivision, including some that work New Sharon to set out and pick up cars for the local industries. The locomotives are varied and interesting, including Alcos from Allagash and Delaware and Hudson. Join us trackside for Volume 1 of the Allagash Railfan video series. It's a show you won't want to miss. In Volume 2, we'll follow coal trains over the Allagash. We'll start with a loaded coal train on the Kennebec subdivision at New Sharon Yard, and we'll make a quick stop at the Division Point Yard at Madrid before we head on to the Androscoggin subdivision where many scenic highlights are encountered. The train crosses the Sandy River and then passes through classic small-town Maine at Weld and Carthage. Northbound trains thread the deep rock cut at Holman Summit and then snake through forests, passing old farms, following rivers, and crossing bridges as they make their way across this scenic section of railroad.
And we've had various operating session schemes since then. I think we had one in 68, and then we moved up to, I think, 1974, and then we were about 1980. Right now we're in like 86 or 87, and eventually we're going to go to 1994, 1995. So that way, that's when the Burlington Northern ceased existence. So, and we'll start over again. Yeah, we have operating sessions. We have a round-robin group that meets here. We meet every Thursday night. I've done that for years and years. I have anywhere from 7 to 10, 12 people, depending on the night that show up. Typical operating session, we run 45, 50 trains. I build a lot of engines, paint a lot of stuff. As you go around the layout, probably a third of the cars on here I've painted. Most of the engines I've painted over the years. The control system we have is something that one time in Model Railroader they had an article, and we built 4 of those about 20 years ago already, and I built 4 more here the last couple years. So, and they work nice. The geographic part of the layout right now is really from Lincoln to Billings with the old CB&Q. And then from the Billings on down to Seattle was Old Northern Pacific and Great Northern. And when we were in our 1968 mode, that's how we operated. Those units would interchange up there in the Billings yard up here and go back toward Lincoln, where the other stuff would run back and forth between one of my hidden yards, which was Minneapolis, and the West Coast. Physically, the layout is a complete double deck all the way around the layout. There are actually 3 or 4 other levels that you don't see that allow me to get trains in and off the layout as an interchange. But just basically, 1x4 construction, cantilever off the walls. The reason that the various sections are the heights they are is the very first section I built goes over the top of my washer and dryer, and that kind of set the tone for everything. It also allows me, if you was over on the other side, I have 3 great big file cabinets underneath the layout that, again, that was set the height of it because they had to go over top of that because I've got all kinds of records that I have to keep over there. I didn't get too low on these because it's hard to see them otherwise. The lower levels over here are very convenient to operate out of a regular folding chair. You know, they're nice heights. You can sit here and operate everything. And one of the gentlemen that operates for me, that's the reason he likes to work over here, because he can sit down. And he rolls back and forth from one end of the layout to the other and does his work, and he, you know, has a good time. I like the part that I've got the scenery done on. That's always been my really weakest point, and I don't like doing it because it just, so like where we're at right now, if you look back down here, most of this end of the layout is done except for a few pieces down through here. And there's a big long area over on the other side that's probably 70 feet long that I've gotten done. And when you run the trains down the hills over there, they look real nice.